Hello, my name is Colin Bryant, and today I'll be presenting my construction safety project. The type of construction I focus on is steel erection, which involves placing and securing structural steel members like beams and columns. This type of work can be especially dangerous because it involves working at heights, handling heavy materials, and requires precise coordination between workers. For this project, I looked at several OSHA standards related to steel erection and created both examples and both violations and compliances. So the first standard I focus on is OSHA 29 CFR 1926-760-B1, which covers fall protection. This standard states that workers must be protected from fall hazards of more than 2 stories or 30 feet, whichever is less. So in my first scenario, I have a steel connector working above 30 feet without fall protection, as you can see here. This is a violation because OSHA requires fall protection at that height. Now, in contrast, I also showed a steel connector working above 30 feet who is properly using fall protection in the case the worker is compliant because they are following OSHA's requirements for working at elevated heights. The next standard I used is OSHA 29 CFR 1926-760-C, which covers controlled decking zones, or CDZs. This standard allows a CDZ to be used between 15 and 30 feet when metal decking is being installed. But the area must be clearly marked and limited to authorized workers. In my scenario, I show workers installing the controlled decking zone, but it is not marked or restricted in any way. Even though they're attempting to set it up, it is still a violation because OSHA requires the zone to be clearly defined and controlled to reduce fall hazards. And the third standard I included is OSHA 29 CFR 1926-756-A1, which deals with beams and columns. This standard states that structural members must be secured with 2 bolts per connection before the hoisting line is released. In my violation example, a steel beam is not properly secured before the hoisting line is released. This is dangerous because the beam could shift or fall. In the compliance example, the beams are properly secured by the required number of bolts before the load is released. This follows OSHA standards and it helps ensure stability during the steel erection process. Overall, these examples show how important it is to follow OSHA standards on a steel erection site. Small mistakes like not securing a beam or using fall protection can quickly turn into serious accidents. For my case study, I selected a steel erection accident from the National Institute of Occupational Safety and Health PACE program. In this case, a 26-year-old iron worker died after falling 89 feet through an unguarded opening in temporary metal flooring at a construction site. The worker was part of a steel erection crew installing structural steel. About an hour before the incident, some of the temporary flooring had been removed because of the work that level was nearly complete. The worker left the roof area and went down to a lower level. While walking across the floor and looking upward for missed bolts, he was not tied off and was unaware that part of the flooring had been removed. As a result, he fell through an opening that was approximately 5 feet wide and 28 feet long, leading to fatal injuries. NIOSH provided 3 important recommendations to help prevent similar incidents in the future. First, employees should ensure that all floor openings are properly secured using barriers, guardrails, or warning systems to prevent workers from falling through openings. Secondly, workers should always follow established safety procedures, including using fall protection and staying aware of changing job site conditions. Third, workers should actively participate in workplace safety by communicating hazards and safety alert to unsafe conditions around them. In conclusion, this project shows how critical OSHA standards are in preventing accidents during steel erection. By following proper fall protection requirements, securing structural members correctly, and maintaining safe work zones, many of these incidents can be prevented. Safety on a construction site depends on both the employer enforcing the rules and the workers following them. Thank you.